Hello, welcome to Help the Helpers. And today we're going to have a celebration of summer. And I told Christine I was going to publicly apologize to her. And she said, well, only apologize if you're not going to do it again. So I can't say I'm not going to do it again, but um, but I want to acknowledge that some people hate summer. They hate the hot, sticky weather. And some people don't experience summer where you are. So it reminds me actually of attunements that I've experienced as a participant in conferences where they'll say, you know, relax and picture yourself lying on a beach with beautiful sunshine. And I get all tense. Oh, no, 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 because I'm allergic to the sun. So what relaxes other people makes me very tense. So I know that summer can have many different meanings um, to each of us. And there's something about the archetype of summer that may be touching on our own experiences of summer, some of us. And for some of us, that archetype might not touch our own experiences of summer. But let's feel into the meaning of summer for us. You know, what comes to mind when you think of summer? Not only the temperature and where you are, but the feel of summer. What are some words that come to mind when you think of summer? But taking a minute just to settle into this feeling of summer. Summer days, summer nights. I'm going to play you a song called The Summer of My Dreams.
Relaxing.
Relaxing, yes. What else? Whatever you associate with that archetype of summer.
Green, more freer.
Mmm, green, freer,
Adventures.
adventures. Yeah, summer adventures.
For me, it's open windows, more fresh air coming into the house,
Mm,
less boundary between outside and inside,
mm,
wearing less clothes,
mm.
more, yeah, more exposed to the environment.
Yeah. Lip, could you say that again? And as you say it, let's feel into those words that Lip is saying and the felt sense of that image of summer. Say it again, Lip.
Uh, Open window, fresh air coming
Open
in,
window, fresh
you know,
air,
the breeze, and
breathe,
wearing less clothes so you feel less restricted in your bodily movement
less
and
restricted,
more exposed to the environment without
more
being,
exposed to the environment.
yeah, without having to protect oneself against the cold.
Yeah, less defensive in a way.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Experiencing new thing. I think somebody said new adventures. Experiencing
Experiencing new things,
new ways of being.
new ways of being. Yes. Jim, you have a little outdoor space in your New York City apartment. What do you associate with summer?
I have a inflatable hot tub in my backyard.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Water. Water is
Water,
the
yes.
summer thing.
Water.
Yes. Yes.
But mainly I associate not going to school.
Not going to school. Yeah. Not not the regular routine. Not as many obligations. Sort of goes with Lip's idea of less clothes, less restriction.
I like that, Jim. Thanks so much. Not going to school because it makes me think also too. Summer vacation,
Vacation.
vacation, and actually being with more people.
Yes. Being with more people and vacation. And Sophie has this sky above her, and I see green and sun. Orna, what about you? What do you associate with summer?
Traveling.
Traveling.
Yeah.
Yes. An archetype, at least the way I'm thinking of it, is something that is right on that border between the explicit world, what Jean calls the unit model, and the implicit world that Jean calls the process model. It's between the explicit and the implicit. An archetype is something that we can experience in linear time in our lives, in our daily lives. And it also opens us to the larger meanings of the large system of life. So in a way, and Liz isn't here, but I would apologize to Liz for using this word and maybe apologize to other people for using this word. Summer is sacred in that sense, soulful and sacred, because it's right on that border of archetypal reality. And it brings us into this larger domain. The word sacred can be off-putting as summer is to some people. So I want to acknowledge that.
I want to push the envelope and yet not offend anybody. Before you said sacred, I was thinking primordial
Mm.
and less brain,
Mm-hmm.
more bodily. Mm, mm.
Why would that offend us?
Well, primordial is very abstract in a way. to any unit model mind that wants to have a place.
Oh, okay. So you're apologizing for the process feeling of primordial. I think of these deep forests in the summer. So let's think for a minute or feel or sense these words that we've used in a larger way. Summer is a time of freedom. So we're going to think about this in terms of a way of being, a way of experiencing, a way of living.
Can I bring in just one other word?
Oh, yeah.
And I think when Eric said primordial and you said sacred in referencing summer, solstice.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Solstice.
Yes.
So summer solstice is the longest day of the year.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Energy and light. It's the most
Energy and
energy
light.
and the most light.
Yes. 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 And
Um,
there's also, yes, somebody else.
yeah, sorry, it's Marga. I'm off camera, but just to
Marga,
add,
hi.
hello, just to add something about how the body feels in the summer, with more along the side with everything that has been said about more energy, which is I do feel like that. But the body feels more expanded. There's a less contraction, and there's a sense that I can connect more with a sense of loosening inside of me. It's easier to move and to sense that the me in the body and with the me with the body. So I feel like embodiment is also a good one here.
Absolutely. Embodiment and the sense of the body. We're more aware of our bodies. Yeah.
Hi. And I also want to say there's more color. And that's what I miss so much in the wintertime when everything in New York is so gray. And in the summer and the spring, it just brings, I look at my backyard with all the green and the flowers, and it just warms me.
Mm. The color.
Color.
Absolutely. Any last ones before we?
Summer is,
What?
oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Summer in Chinese cosmology or whatever is the fire element, and it's associated with the heart and just all this flooding of experiences. It's like the heart gets to
The heart
be
expands.
in the body with all these things, these words that we're letting bloom.
I love that we're letting these words bloom. And of course, blooming is very much a part of summer. Everything is blooming. Another thing that we haven't said is that summer is nature's way of calling for a pause. It's like, oh, don't do life as regular business. Pause. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at this flower. Look at this bird. Look at this color. It's a kind of refreshment and renewal. And it's funny because it's ironic that summer is a pause and summer is so active. Everything is blooming and growing and and flying around, and there's this sense of a kind of hush, a busyness and a hush at the same time. So let's see if we take some of those words inside and we feel what the archetype of summer means for us. What this way of being, this summer way of being is. With light and freedom and long days, more embodied, pauseful, a kind of hush and a kind of activity, adventure. Fresh air, less restriction, less obligation, more spaciousness, renewal. Starry evenings. Did I miss some? Yeah.
Expanding.
Expanding, yes.
It's going to be okay.
Yes.
It's going to
Summer,
be okay.
right. Summer is this message from the universe, I like to say. A message from the universe. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Life is resilient, is the message of summer. Life wants to bloom. Life wants to be colorful. No matter what you do to a plant, if you give it a little water, a little sunshine, it comes back. How does it feel to take in these summer qualities as a quality of being, quality of life? There was one time I remember when I was a young person, I was going through a breakup and very, very unhappy. And summer was just beginning. And I wrote this poem about how I'm not ready for this celebration of life. And it should wait for me because I can't celebrate life in this state when I'm miserable. And I remember that feeling of summer being this feast of celebration that I wasn't dressed for to go to that party. And I remember another summer where I paused at the beginning of summer and I said, I'm going to appreciate every day of summer and make the most of every single day of that celebration. And those two summers actually stick out in my mind. I'm going to play a song for you that I love. And this is a song by Dolores Keane, who was the same person, sung by the same person as when we did the Memorial Day song. And take this song in as a felt sense song, the felt sense of summer. and allow that felt sense of summer to sort of just blossom inside you as a way of being. Okay, Christine, I think we're ready for that song.
Okay.
In the shade of this old tree, in the summer of my dreams, by the tall grass, by the wild rose, where the trees dance and the wind blows, as the days go so slowly, as the sun shines, oh so holy, on the good and gracious green, in the summer of my dreams, by the banks of this old stream, in the summer of my dreams, by the deep pool where the fish wait for the old fool with the wrong bait. There's a field of purple clover, there's a small cloud passing over, and then the rain comes washing clean, in the summer of my dreams. See the raindrops on the grass now, just like diamonds lying there, by the old road where I pass now. There's a twilight in the air, and as the sun sets down before me, I see my true love waiting for me, standing by the back door screen, in the summer of my dreams. In the shade of this old tree, in the summer of my dreams, by the tall grass, by the wild rose, where the trees dance as the beans grow, as the days go so slowly, as the sun shines, oh so holy, on the good and gracious green, in the summer of my dreams. In the summer of my dreams.
Thank you, Christine. That's kind of our attunement this morning. Let's allow ourselves just to see what that song brings for us. And any scenes or memories or fantasies or images that come when we think of summer in our own lives and the summer as the archetype. And let's feast on that this morning, sort of in preparation for what will this summer be for each of us. Will we be able to inhabit and live in this archetype? In the spirit of summer, there's time and space, and anything that comes to you is welcome at this picnic. I see the old stream, the bank, the big tree with the shade, and all of us there together, bringing all of our memories and nourishments and anticipations and longings. And the floor is open. Anyone who wants to share.
Something that came to me was fireflies.
Oh, yeah. Fireflies. They're magical, magical creatures. Summer is a very magical time, I think. Anybody have a moment of summer that you remember in your lives that you actually lived? It might not have been, something spectacular. It might have been, I think, of sitting on my deck with my coffee in the morning, overlooking the flowers. Oh, wow. That sense of everything coming alive.
I think for me, I used to go in the summer, voice camp and a dancing camp in an open field where they have this big top, and when it weather gets very hot, they have to open the side flaps so that the air can come in. So it's a kind of on the open field, groups of people coming to celebrate, and especially in the evening when the activities stop, you come out and you see all these skies, all these stars in the sky. And on one night, there were falling shooting stars, lots of them. And it is usually located in a dark area, so there's no street lighting. And that has remained in my memory. The sky is really full of stars. And when you have shooting stars, so that's
Yeah.
quite amazing. It's a coming out, I think, summer.
Yes, yes. It's a coming out. Yes. Yes, and usually there's always many, many stars, but we don't see them. And then summer is like, especially what you're describing, Lip, is like this time of seeing all the stars that are always there, but we see them in a new way. And the shooting stars, wow.
Well, hi, it's Lenore. Thinking about thinking about the stars right now in the sky, you can see Jupiter and Venus, and they're right next to each other. And if you look in the western part of the sky, you'll see it. It's very Jupiter's very large and shiny, and you see Venus right next to it. And then down further is a little is Mercury, but it's very clear in the sky right now.
Mm.
So if you want to take a look.
Oh, yeah. When you say that, Lenore, it reminds me of nature and everything, the universe being closer in the summer.
Yes. Yeah.
Summer for me is a time of belonging. Everything belongs together. Unfortunately, the flowers and the weeds are all together in the root system, right? Everything is living together it feels like in the summer. There's a sense of belonging to the universe.
Just gave me the association of we're all one.
We're all one, yes. It does seem like a message of that. Such diversity in nature, and we're all one.
And the solar system.
And the solar system, absolutely.
That diversity, that summer diversity. I just love the song because the summer of my dreams. Yeah, that's a real dreamy like summer. And then I'm chuckling because I looked at what Christine put in the chat. And so as that song was playing, I was like, yeah, that's the summer. I dream of. But then the summer I'm dealing with is mosquitoes. Because when Mary
yes,
when Mary brought up, fireflies, I was like, yeah. I just remember running around in Florida visiting my grandparents and catching fireflies in a jar. But then also having to deal with the mosquitoes and the gnats and the sweat and the grind. And so the urban summer is a little bit different. You got sweat dripping from under your armpits, your brows just almost like a shower head. Yeah, it is interesting. The way that the sun reflects off the concrete. I mean, you can literally get yeah. It's interesting. So yeah, just putting that in there too.
Yes. Nature doesn't separate the things that we love from the things that are very annoying, like the mosquitoes. But that image, yeah, reminds me of being a kid, and you probably experienced this too, maybe. But a kid in Brooklyn, and they would open the fire hydrants, and we would all run in the water and splash each other and yell and scream. I don't know if you did that.
Oh, absolutely. The roofs of brownstones or not of buildings, especially in Harlem, the Lower East Side, the roof was called Tar Beach. Okay.
Tar Beach.
Fire escapes, especially in the 50s and 60s, people would bring out their mattresses and just be like, it would become like a cooling station as we now know it here in the city these days.
I can picture that.
Priyanka had a lovely smile when Yao was talking. And I'm saying that right when you're chewing, Priyanka, but I wonder what you were feeling.
Priyanka has a summer smile.
So for me, the word summer doesn't resonate the way for all of you. So I'm feeling a bit like left out because in India, summers are horrible. And what's resonating is monsoon. Like everything you share about how you feel about summer, I feel like that about monsoon, where everything comes alive, everything is green, and we're experiencing monsoon right now.
Ah, everything alive and everything green. I didn't know that I thought of monsoon as being difficult, but you're saying it's beautiful.
It's a relief after the hot, harsh summers.
Yes. See if we could take that into ourselves, what Priyanka is giving us, that sense of release after the long, hot period. Was there anything else that came to you? I know there are many, many things, but anything else that we want to say about the song or what came to you about your own summers?
Yes. Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Yes. Unfortunately, I think all of our openness, relaxedness, renewal, all of those things have mosquitoes in them. In that way of being, right? We can't escape from the mosquitoes of life. The mosquitoes of life come with it all, right? I don't know why it has to be.
Existential mosquitoes.
The existential mosquitoes. I love that term. We have a new term now. And that's sort of inspiring to me because I think, well, when something is really upsetting me and I get if I think about it just as an existential mosquito, something relaxes in me. Oh yes, that's part of life.
LYNN, I couldn't hear all the words to the song, and I wonder if there's a way we can see the words.
Yes, Christine can put them in the chat.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Did anybody else have trouble hearing the words? Were there any of the words that struck you that you did hear?
In the shade of the tree.
Yes, that part of the shade of the tree and the bank of the stream. One thing that struck me was the sunsets. The days go oh so slowly, and the sun shines oh so holy. And there was something about my true love waiting for me by the back door screen in the summer of my dreams. And there's something about when we take all of these things not literally, there's something about the feeling of the true love of life waiting for us, that there's the sense of home in the summer, sense of connection.
Priyanka's beaming again.
What are you thinking now, Priyanka? Eric is really tuned into you.
I'm just enjoying the words of the song.
Mm. I like that part about the old fool fishing with the wrong bait. And there's something about smiling at that human condition that we all have of fishing in life for something with the wrong bait and smiling at that rather than beating our wings against the window. That all of us have that in us. Okay, now I want to ask you another question. If we take a minute and gather all of these ingredients of the archetype of summer, and we allow ourselves to be a plant. We all have plant bodies, as Jean says, as well as human bodies. A plant waiting for that wonderful rain, that wonderful sun. And what are those qualities of summer that we most need now in our lives this summer? What are we craving? What are we open for? What the pause of our leaf bodies opening to what summer might bring, and what is that for each of us? And maybe take a pen or phone or something and jot down a few things that come to you about the particularity of what you need in your journey this summer. What you've been waiting for. What you've been putting on hold, and now it's time. The fresh air. What is that for you that your organism needs? What kind of fresh air? What kind of sun? What kind of starry night? What kind of shade? What kind of water? What kind of color? What kind of adventure? Sometimes the next step is just settling down and sitting under that true.
Is it okay to share now?
Yes, I think you're the canary in the mine that says this is the time to share.
Yeah, so along that line, I mean, some have longer days, so there's a time, a feeling of enough time to share, and that there is fair weather for people to be more open, to celebrate together, to open up, to receive, to interact. So it's a kind of a gathering, enough time, fair weather, and and a sense of constancy, so that things may not be too rock up with high wind or ice. So it's a more equable environment to come out and share and gather together the fruits of autumn, winter, and spring.
Mm. And Lip, are you saying that that's what you particularly in your personal journey need right now is more of that gathering, more of that coming out, more?
Yes, to some extent, because I've been I have this extended leave from paid work to follow my investigation of my touch therapy, and getting all the different wisdoms and trying to make it more coherent, because all these different sources of many good things happening are not cohering, and so that's why my time and absorption
Mm,
in trying to tie this together, so that people don't have to go and search for so many different places,
mm,
and
it's,
a lot of energy. So I think and that's a very interesting word, is the intersection of the many different good streams of human goodness. They are actually here.
mm,
I don't see it as troubled times. I see this as lots of good offerings from
mm,
all over the world and in all different places.
mm,
So to some extent, it's a bit like there's so much things to go for, but yet there is no integration. There's no coherency. There's no concerted effort to
yeah.
amplify, to
I
to to really make clearer, rather than becomes too many brands of toothbrushes from the supermarket, that it
I
spoils
I
the
get that, Lip.
essential.
It's something like what your organism craves is this gathering, this integration, like a field of wild flowers and uh, insects and animals and everything together coming out and gathering. And and that is your internal summer right now. Anybody
Like
else? Yeah.
about lip, like a squirrel gathering the nuts.
Oh, yes, like a squirrel gathering the nuts. That's a beautiful image.
And lip, when you were speaking, your voice was very resonant and like down in your belly and
Mm,
slower. slower voice.
Thank you for those appreciation, because I don't know
And
how I
as I
sound.
say that, I feel joy in my body, which I think has something to do with you.
Mm.
I like that. I like that, Eric and Lip. You know what I want? My plant? Pollination.
Oh.
That's what's going to help me.
Mm.
That's what's going to help me this summer.
Wow, we didn't say pollination, right? Summer is a time of new birth, of pollination, of bringing things together, and the seeds all over the place, and yeah.
Yes, it's like when Eric just pollinated with Lip and it brought this smile to Eric. Eric said so now we need to get some pollination from Eric and share it around. But yeah, it's what the bees, what the soil, what the sun, what the clouds. Yeah, all of that together.
And the hummingbirds. I'm
Yes.
picturing those hummingbirds.
I think Mary might have something to say.
Mary might.
I'm off in my mind and my very unprofessional botany brain about the 30,000 cultivars of roses. And I love roses, and it comes from 300 original wild species.
Mm. And Mary, are you particularly needing roses in your life now?
Oh, well,
Inner roses?
the roses are helpful. They're always helpful. And in my family, the women of many generations also made sure we had wild violets growing in our home territory. It was usually like many acres, in very rural Louisiana, where the summer's so hot that you can't stand it, but there are many ways to stay cool.
Yeah.
It might not be a fire hydrant, but definitely, you could go outside and just put the hose all over your body as you're working in the garden.
Ah, yes. I think I might need that in my life right now, is a nice garden hose sprinkler, and just sit under that sprinkler and feel all that nice cold water. Just we'll have just a couple more comments, and then we'll go into our breakout rooms and see if these images of summer evoke for you actual intentions for the next couple of months. If there's a calling in it. If there's an opening. So any other comments before we go into breakout rooms? Okay, I will see you at 9:35 and have a wonderful breakout room.
It's coming.
We use that time to breathe and to anticipate being in a different world in the breakout room.
Wait, Lynn, should I do two to a room or three since it's such a small meeting?
I think 3.
Okay.
Sorry.
How was your breakout rooms? What was good, Yao? It's
Marvin,
nice to see your face. Yes.
oh, thank you. Oh, Marvin came up with a new species of an insect.
A new species of an insect. Wow.
Yeah, an ant hopper. And it was related to how I was sharing how I was feeling about summer, and I likened it to the fable of the grasshopper and the ant, and how the ants are always busy, doing because they're collecting and they're doing this stuff, and the grasshopper's playing his fiddle, just having a good time, and the ants are like, if you don't do this work, you won't have any food for the summer. And the ant, grasshopper's like, hey, I'm just playing my stuff. And then you all know, if you're familiar with the fable, what happens. But yeah, Marvin invoked that. So that came up for me.
And how is that like your life?
Well, I'm truly a grasshopper.
I
Truly a
see.
grasshopper, and have been all my life. But you ants are helping me influence and learn that structure is important, and I must plan for the future, and I must get my pantry full, so because winter will come. But I still love playing the vibe of the grasshopper. And one of the things I shared is, the grasshopper was really just as important because the grasshopper was keeping the tune going while they were working to help them kind of go through the process. So can't dismiss the grasshopper nor the ant.
Welcome to both of you, the ant part and the grasshopper part.
Thanks to Marvin, ant hopper.
The ant hopper.
It's really nice to see another view of your home, Yao.
Oh, thank you, Eric.
Yeah. Looks like Raku back there. Yeah.
I see these looks on some of your faces like, should I share what the breakout room was or shouldn't I? I think we should broaden it to anything that you want to say.
Or no.
Yeah, I'd like to say that in the break room, I felt many seasons. And I felt very understood in a way that I didn't expect it even. So basically, the final moment was more spring-like, definitely not summer for me.
The final moment was more spring-like.
Yeah, it brought a lot of new, fresh air. Yeah.
Fresh air, the fresh air of spring. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Orna, that feels more like your life now, is this needing the spring, needing the fresh air?
it's what I meant is that I got more understanding that I could ever expected. And I try to anchor it somehow in my current life that are definitely summer. Yeah.
To anchor it, to anchor that understanding. Understanding is like fresh air in a way. So I know yeah.
I believe Sarah would say what she said during the breakout rooms, talking about the plant. If she's hearing me, she talked about the plant that the spring with a bud and then the nourishment coming, and when summer comes, it's just to have the fruits. Like if summer was to take the fruits, to receive the fruits.
To receive the fruits.
Yeah.
But you were referring to somebody else in the breakout room? I didn't.
Sarah.
Just Sarah, and Sarah was like the plant receiving the fruits.
No, she expressed it. I'm just trying to say what she said.
What she said.
Yeah.
That image of waiting for the fruits and then they're and then they're ready.
Yeah, it's like the rains of spring have already come and the plant's established. Like it's already like growing, maybe starting to bud or blossom, and then the summer it's like things are like fully emerging, fruiting, yeah, and ripening. And so it's more just what I'm feeling is like an allowing, like the nourishment and the structure and the growth is already there. And it's like allowing what's there to come to fruition.
That's beautiful. Allowing what's there to come to fruition. It reminds me of that definition that one of my students had many years ago of focusing, of letting the grow have you. Sort of just surrendering while it comes to fruition. And it's amazing if we pause for a second and imagine all of the things that are growing. Everything is growing. I mean, that's what life is this growing energy. Anybody else? We're going to need to stop in a couple of minutes. You know, there are some people who experienced in real life terrible times in summer. Did you get to voice that? The heat, the I think we've had some people voice that, but to me, one of the most important things in Help the Helpers is that the experience that we're talking about won't be the same to everybody, and that everybody needs to have a voice. Any last words before we stop today?
Just to thank you, Lynn, for allowing our voices to be heard.
Yes, the voices are like that wonderful feeling of the sounds of summer. The archetype of summer, maybe not the real summer.
And when you invite us to the everything of the growing, the everything itself is very summer-like and full.
Mm-hmm. Right. The everything itself is very full, very summery. I picture when you say that a huge bouquet of flowers. I love to make bouquets of flowers in the summer from my garden. And there are weeds in it and all kinds of wild things and things I planted and everything all together in this great big bouquet. Some people think that's very unsophisticated. It's much more sophisticated to have a few beautiful things, but I can't leave anything out of my
That's
bouquets.
sabi wabi in Japanese.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yay, yay.
Okay, see you all next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Oh, I just want
Thank
to
you.
announce that I'm going to do a summer sanctuary for therapists that will be Thursdays starting June 25th. And it will be a time of us coming back to ourselves. It's the therapeutic us is going to focus on the therapeutic I. So we're going to pay attention to ourselves and our own needs and our own journey. And that will be starting Thursday, the 25th of June. And I hope to see you. And we'll have a Forge module about all the things that make any group a focusing oriented group. And that will be a summary and an introduction of Forge. And that will be the Thursday, the 23rd. Okay, bye now.